Welcome to Furniture Industry News. Today is February 3rd, 2026, and thanks for spending a few minutes with me. This update is designed for busy furniture professionals who want to know what's happening across retail, manufacturing, finance, and trade without wading through headlines all day. There's a mix of ownership changes, store closures, financial results, and a little bit of cost relief on the import side, so let's get into it. We'll start with a notable ownership change in the rent-to-own space. Buddy's Home Furnishings has officially found a new owner. The chain, which operates more than 220 locations across 18 states and Guam, was acquired by Los Angeles-based Skyline Investors. Buddy's had previously been owned by Franchise Group, which reorganized under Chapter 11 in 2025. As part of that process, Buddy's and other assets were transferred to a newly formed ownership group, ultimately leading to this sale. Skyline Investors is partnering with principals from Standard Communities, a real estate development group, to bring new capital and operational focus to the business. According to leadership, the goal here is long-term support for the franchise system rather than a short-term flip. For franchisees, that signals an emphasis on stability and investment, which is something many operators are watching closely after a period of uncertainty tied to franchise groups restructuring. From ownership transitions, we move to a tougher story on the retail side. Circle Furniture, a long-standing New England retailer, has filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy and shutdown operations. The Massachusetts-based company filed its voluntary petition at the end of January, moving directly into liquidation. This wasn't a reorganization effort, it was a full stop. Circle Furniture reportedly closed all 9 of its stores late last year, and employees were informed through internal communications that layoffs were taking place. The closure marked the end of a multi-decade run in Massachusetts and New Hampshire. For many in the region, Circle was a familiar name, and its shutdown highlights the pressure independent and regional retailers continue to face, even those with long histories and strong local recognition. Another example of a long-standing retail presence coming to an end comes from Maine. A local furniture store that had been in business for 95 years is closing its doors due to the owner's retirement. Management indicated there was no successor in place, and the decision was driven primarily by that reality rather than a specific financial event. While this closure is different from a bankruptcy, it still reflects a broader generational shift happening across the industry, where longtime owners are stepping away and finding it difficult to pass the business on. Shifting gears a bit, let's talk about an experiment in consumer finance that caught a lot of attention. Bed Bath & Beyond is testing a tokenized home financing option for customers making purchases. This approach allows shoppers to use digital tokens, potentially connected to blockchain-based systems, as a way to finance larger home purchases. The idea is that this could offer additional flexibility at checkout and appeal to a younger, more tech-forward customer. It's also part of a wider effort by retailers to rethink payment options as traditional credit becomes tighter for many consumers. While it's still early and clearly experimental, it's another sign that retailers are willing to test unconventional tools to stay relevant and competitive. Now let's move into manufacturing, where Kincaid Custom Upholstery is navigating a new chapter. Following the sale of Kincaid's upholstery operations by La-Z-Boy, the business is continuing operations in North Carolina and outlining its next steps as a more independent unit. Leadership at Kincaid has said the focus will be on expanding core capabilities and pursuing new product opportunities across residential and contract segments. This update comes alongside confirmation that La-Z-Boy has completed the sale of Kincaid's upholstery operations. For La-Z-Boy, the move aligns with a broader strategy to refocus on its core branded portfolio. For Kincaid, it opens the door to a more targeted approach, with an emphasis on stability and controlled growth rather than sweeping changes. It's a reminder that divestitures don't always mean decline. In some cases, they're about sharpening focus on both sides of the deal. On the financial performance front, Flexsteel Industries reported strong results for its second quarter of fiscal 2025. The company posted sales growth driven largely by expanded business with key retail accounts. Demand improved across multiple channels, including independent retailers and national chains, which helped lift overall performance. Management pointed to ongoing efforts to balance production capacity, supply chain costs, and product mix. While broader economic conditions remain challenging, the quarter showed that disciplined execution and strong retail partnerships can still produce growth. For retailers, Flexsteel's results may also signal where consumer demand is holding up, particularly in well-positioned assortments. Finally, there's some modest but welcome news on the international trade side. U.S. rug importers are seeing cost relief following a tariff reduction on certain goods imported from India. The cut affects select categories, including some hand-knotted and machine-made rugs. Industry groups had advocated for this change, and the adjustment is expected to lower landed costs for importers. While the relief is limited in scope, it could help stabilize pricing and margins for retailers and distributors that rely heavily on Indian-made rugs. In an environment where cost pressures have been persistent, even small adjustments like this can make a meaningful difference at the margin. When you step back and look at all of these updates together, a few themes stand out. Ownership changes and closures continue to reshape the retail landscape, particularly for long-standing and regional players. At the same time, manufacturers are adjusting portfolios and finding ways to move forward with more focused strategies. Retailers are experimenting with new financing tools, and importers are watching trade policy closely for any sign of relief. That's the snapshot for today. If you find this kind of straight-to-the-point industry update useful, consider subscribing to Furniture Industry News so you don't miss future episodes.